Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking an incredibly moving story called The Promise I Could Not Keep. It completely strips away all that complex financial jargon we're so used to, and it gets right down to the real emotional core of why we actually need to plan for our futures. Okay, let's dive right into this. Every parent has dreams, but dreams need a financial plan. Just let that sink in for a second. You see, this whole presentation isn't about chasing impossible market returns, and it's definitely not some get-rich-quick scheme. It's really about a fundamental shift in perspective. It's about looking at investing as the absolute best tool we have for protecting our family's most cherished dreams. To start, let's paint a picture of our opening scene. Imagine a 10-year-old girl looking up and asking, "Daddy, when I become a doctor, will you send me to university?" And of course, without a second of hesitation, her father promises he will. In that specific moment, everything looks absolutely perfect, right? But the hard truth is, a promise made without any real preparation is incredibly fragile. And this brilliantly illustrates just how terrifyingly fast time passes when we're caught unprepared. We trace this father's journey starting right at that beautiful promise when his daughter is 10. But as we all know, life is totally unpredictable. Just 5 years later, boom, sudden job loss. And then another 5 years blink by, and that inevitable university acceptance letter arrives in the mail. Ready or not, the years just keep moving forward. Let's rewind a bit to that 5-year mark. The father receives a retrenchment letter, and the scene is just stark. The mortgage is due, loans are piling up, bills are literally everywhere. In an absolute panic, he frantically checks his bank account, and the balance? It's sitting at just 423 ringgit and 15 sen. It's pure survival mode. When you're in that headspace, long-term planning feels like an impossible luxury. Then, we fast forward another 5 years. His daughter comes running into the room, absolutely thrilled because she just got her university acceptance letter. But when the father opens it, the reality hits him like a ton of bricks. The fees are 65,000 ringgit. Facing that massive, devastating sticker shock, he forces a smile for his daughter. But later that night, he sits all alone in the dark and just cries. The emotional heartbreak really peaks when the daughter accidentally overhears her father whispering the heaviest words any parent could ever utter. "I failed her." Quietly, she goes back to her room, puts that acceptance letter away in a drawer and whispers, "It's okay, Daddy. I'll sacrifice my dream." It is just gut-wrenching. It's the ultimate emotional cost of just waiting and hoping for the best. But here is where things take a really interesting turn. We get a vital comparison through an old friend who drops by and notices the father's despair. Now, years ago, both of these guys actually attended the exact same financial seminar. The difference? The father essentially decided to wait until he felt he could afford it. But his friend took a totally different path. He started consistently investing just 500 ringgit every single month. And the friend explains exactly why he started putting away that 500 ringgit. It wasn't to buy some fancy yacht or get massively wealthy. Not at all. He just didn't want his children to ever have to give up their dreams. And this applies to all of us, right? Financial planning really isn't about luxury. It's about securing those essential life milestones for the people we care about most. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it actually started. A flashback takes us back 10 years to a unit trust consultant who didn't use pressure tactics or boast about crazy returns. Instead, they just asked, "What is your biggest dream?" From there, they built a super simple educational plan based strictly on 4 pillars: understanding his risk profile, defining his financial goals, locking in what he could actually afford monthly, and setting his investment horizon. By sticking to that straightforward structure, the friend really harnessed the power of disciplined consistency. He looks at his investment statement years later and acknowledges the reality. Yeah, the market went up, the market went down. It fluctuates. But the real secret to his success had absolutely nothing to do with timing the market perfectly. It was simply that he never, ever stopped investing. And the reward for that steady consistency is crystal clear. While our main character, the father, is facing this insurmountable debt, his friend is living a remarkably calm reality today. His son's education? It's already fully paid for. There's no panic, there are no dashed hopes. It's just the deep security of a promise kept through early preparation. Hearing all of this, the father feels this intense mix of regret, but also a spark of hope. He asks the question so many of us ask when we feel like we're lagging behind. Is it too late for me? The consultant's reply is incredibly powerful and honestly super motivating. They say the absolute best time to start was 10 years ago, but the second best time? That's today. Let's see how this builds into a much broader picture. The narrative expands into this great montage showing us that financial planning definitely isn't just for the ultra wealthy. We see a young couple, a teacher, a Grab driver, a nurse, a small business owner, and everyday parents. It shows everyday working adults from literally all walks of life taking that crucial first step to start their own financial plans. And it all ties together with this profound underlying truth. People don't invest because they just have extra money lying around. They invest because they have dreams that are fundamentally worth protecting. This applies directly to you and your family. If there's a dream you genuinely care about, it deserves a proper plan. Armed with this entirely new mindset, we reach this beautifully uplifting crescendo. The father finally takes action, starting his own plan so he never has to break another promise. And in the final scene, we see his daughter graduating. Through happy tears, she looks at him and says, "Thank you." And he replies, "Thank you for believing in me." It's living proof that taking action literally turns into promises kept. So, the core lesson of this entire explainer really boils down to one simple idea: prepare for tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. Investing isn't about the thrill of the chase, it's about preparation. Time is going to pass, and those major life milestones are going to appear on the horizon whether we like it or not. The only real question is, will you be ready when they do? So, the crucial point is that an investment isn't just a portfolio or a bunch of numbers on a screen. Not at all. It is a deeply emotional act of love. Every single ringgit invested today is a tangible, mathematical promise to someone you love that you are securing their future. Which brings us to what you can do right now. Don't wait until life forces a tough decision on you. Start a financial plan today. Take the time to actually learn about your risk tolerance. Make sure you match your investments to your specific goals and your time horizon. But whatever you do, please don't wait. Take a hard look at your own life, your family, and your future. What is the one thing you absolutely refuse to let slip away? Remember, the second best time to start planning is right now. So, what dream are you protecting today?